suspect that has broken up 1 million at one time and always comes back for my gola.
Which is Ebola? Which is Ebola I can buy with money? Some may say that Blessing Ceo's path to self-destruction began to intensify the day she linked up with IVD. But whoever will say this, one, clearly has no idea who Blessing Ceo is or has not been on the internet for a long time. Hi guys, welcome to my TED Talk or analysis on how to self-destruct, on how to push yourself into the path of an eternal embarrassment. You see, what most people are not talking about when it comes to Blessing CEO, I've noticed on the internet, is the fact that Blessing CEO did not start a deceptive career on the backs of Onyeze, aka the house claim saga. If you have been on the internet for a long time, as I have, you remember the days of a popular relationship blog known as Breakup or Makeup. It was a page allegedly run by Blessing CEO. Now, this page was so interesting, people, users or Instagram followers will put in their relationship problems on the page, will send it to her, the alleged owner of this page. The person will provide advice. At first, it was an interesting page. You read stories of what people were going through, and sometimes you wonder where these people are falling from. Are they falling from Mars? But over time, the stories became so outrageous, so unbelievably fake, in such a way that it was not something that we could conceive that people could actually go through in relationship. And then, as luck will run out of her, the alleged owner of this page, which people said was Blessing CEO, it has not been verified, 100% verified. So that's why I'm using allegedly. It was discovered that she sat down and made up these stories just to retain the attention of her followers. So after that, Blessing CEO, I can remember very well that period. I used to follow that page. At a point, I unfollowed it because it was getting too ridiculous. And then there was a post about this Blessing. Then she was looking like a reasonable young lady. I remember because she made the post on her page about the stones her ex threw at her. She used it to build a mansion. And then she began to list at the things she has accomplished, her age. And Blessing, I was very intrigued by this because Blessing CEO we are in the same age range. I was like, wow, she could have all of this within a short time. We had no idea that all this were made up. When we realized that these things were made up when the house saga broke up and the real owner of the house came out to embarrass her, I remember sitting down and wondering to myself, how could anyone go this length? How is it possible that someone can go to this mile just to lie? I could not even fathom it. But no, that was not the end of it. Some people would have just gone to a corner and just waited out and just hide out for a while. Blessing CEO said, Mbano. She stood up, rised on the wave of that lie, and made a name for herself. Began to call herself as the relationship therapist. Probably because she has been handling fake problems on the previous alleged page she owned, the makeup and breakup page. So she felt like she has made herself a therapist, because till up to this moment, I'm yet to see any certification from any institution of significance that gives her the title relationship therapist. But let's move on. Now, when Blessing CEO got on the internet, she called herself the queen of clout. That yes, things that people are ashamed of, she's going to own it. She began to get into fights with different internet personalities Who has Blessing CEO not fought with? Is it Nkechi Blessing? She dragged Nkechi Blessing, which I am not. Some might say same Joe, minor difference between both of them. But I believe some of the fights were really unnecessary. When Nkechi Blessing was dating that young man that is a PA to the Delta State governor, what's this name again? Excessive or whatever. She dragged Nkechi through the mud. Oh, he's a small boy. Oh, he's this and that. And then she got into the fight with this. I think they have even calmed down, the Easy Obede lady. I think that one has chilled for a while. They've gone through the mud with each other. She has gotten into fight with Cider Budge. They also drag each other through the mud. She also got into a fight with VDM. At a point, I don't know where she stands with VDM, because some days she comes out to support him. I don't know where she's trying to backtrack, because we all know anybody that fights with VDM always lose. At least that's the current climb now. So I don't know whether she's trying to backtrack so that at least she can get into his good graces, but I don't see VDM and her ever getting cool. Even though we are going to come into the fact that VDM has supported her in this, we are getting there. Let me not jump too far. She also got into a fight with Tosin Silverdam, that she was invited for a movie premiere, and they almost got into a physical fight. Like, how low can one person go? And then she began to drag Vicky James. Oh, I'm giving you advice. Enter house. Because you are putting your husband out there. There people are insulting him. Don't do this. Hide your. I'm a relationship therapist giving you advice. Oh. Blah 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 blah. But then a video began to circulate when she saw Vicky James, I think, at one of these premiere, whatever she went, I can't remember the particular occasion. But then, looking at the video, you could see she was fanzing Vicky James. I wish I can find that video. She was fanzing her. All that keypad warrior she was doing on the phone. When she saw the Vicky James physically, it's as if she wanted to kneel down and greet Vicky James. And then, when she had her own man, which we are going to get into, she did not remember to take her own advice. She also got into a public, I will not say a public spat, because the video actually sent her to dealt with her about this IVD or whatever. And then she got into a very public stuff with the late Bimbo's family, that she had to sleep in the prison. Now, if it was someone else, that a man fighting over a man sent the person to prison, we know what Blessing CEO would have the video should have made, the 3-part video should have made to give unsolicited advice. Now, this brings us to the last thing that was never on my 2026 bingo card, as some people might see. When I first saw this story, when I first saw the post about Blessing CEO having cancer, I didn't want to talk about it. Even though I've been away from the media space from my YouTube for a while now, for those of you that have subscribed or have been following me, I took a short break to deal with some things. So I saw it. It was really sensitive for me. I don't want to talk about it. Why? Because I lost my mother in 2020 to breast cancer. And I would not wish the pain of that disease on even anyone. I don't have any enemy. I don't consider anyone enemy, but even if I were to have a worst enemy, I would spare the family of that worst enemy the trauma of a family member going through that painful disease. So I kept it to myself. I was just saying, oh, I wish her well, whatever it is. I saw the hot takes from people analyzing the situation, this and that. I kept my opinion to myself. I did not want to talk about it because I kept wondering, it can't be this. She can't go this far now. She can't possibly go this far. No, it's not possible. I could not believe. Only for us to begin to see different leaks, different loopholes in this story. First, it was, I'm at stage 4. Stage 4 what? After that, she said shaving her head on making video of shaving her head. You don't need to shave your head. The cancer the chemotherapy will shave it for you. Oh Lord. You do not need to do that. And then she began to, how can you even be in the midst of a terrible disease as stage 4 cancer and you have time to reply to critics? Busy replying to Sada Boy, replying to people making video. And she even made a video about people's marriages that are crashing. This lady, this is the list of your, madam, this is the list of your problem. Do you know what stage 4 cancer is? And then the recent, I'm going to put up the the video that the interview she did with that Arise. I just put a clip of it.
It was a lump and they told her it was non-cancerous, right?
Yes.
She goes back there 6, 7, 8 months later,
yeah.
and that's how she discovered that it was cancer stage 4. So, for you, as a doctor, what are the procedures what would you like to ask her concerning how she got from that level to the stage 4 level?
First of all, I'm very interested to know what type of doctor you saw, because there's a lot of disparity that I don't expect in medical personnel.
Okay, what are disparities?
So first of all, when a patient comes to me and complains of a lump, I will not do a biopsy first. I will first do an imaging. So I'll tell you to either do an ultrasound scan if you're less than 40, you're 35, 40. Then if you're above 40, you can do a mammogram before we get to the biopsy. And if you then do a biopsy, depending on what we're suspecting based on your history, you either do a fine needle aspiration cytology or a core biopsy, right? And after that, even if, because what you're describing kind of sort of sounds like you did a fine needle aspiration cytology, right? Even at that, no doctor on the surface of this earth that is qualified would allow a patient to move around with a lump in their breast for 6 months, because you don't know. Even if you do a fine needle...
You could see how stupid she looked in that interview. Even the one she did with Daddy Freeze. Like, she could see she did not plan this thing very, very well. How could you claim you have cancer and you don't know the stages of the process that gets you to get your diagnosis? You don't know the basic, that you take biopsy, like the things. You're just skipping steps. And when they ask you anything, I don't know. Do you know what cancer is? And then, because Celia is not stupid, though. She did not do a GoFundMe. She did not do all of that. Because she knows once you make a public donation on all those things, the organization that are responsible for it can recall it once they sense the fraud. She put her account number. And then she had in mind to say that she had in mind to say that she has 13 million naira and counting or whatever. I even heard that VDM even contributed to it. Even Q2 Jules was trying to solicit our followers to contribute to her. King Michi also sent money to her. Now, people might say, you people are very stupid, you people will send money. No. Because who would have thought that anyone in their right mind will forge cancer diagnosis for herself? Who would have thought that? So you cannot blame the public for having a soft mind. You know, Nigerians, we are very, very supportive. We are very supportive when it comes to having human sympathy. We have that. So now Kimichi is dragging her back to return the money. I'm going to even put a video of her busy eating crab leg. Some of you that even sent money to her to make up to 30 million have eaten crab leg before. Now, I want to end this by saying that I think she's basically done. Because, we could forgive you. We could forgive you for your Onyeze, that thing you did. We could forgive that. That's claiming someone's house as yours. We could forgive that. But the disrespect to the collective intelligence of Nigerians, I don't think that can be forgiven. I don't think that can be forgiven. You just played with our emotions, with a disease that most people have trauma from, are even scared of. And then you don't even seem to still have remorse. You're still lying in our faces. No. I think she's done. I'll be surprised if she's not. Because the way she rose out, anyway, anything can happen. Anything can happen because Nigerians, we can't even predict. Because people began to take blessings seriously. People were, she's intelligent. I used to watch some of her videos. She gives hot takes. I'll be like, wow, there's some truth in what she's saying. And then I mean, people were inviting her for the likes of is it Etoyi Abrahams? Was it that premier she went and started fighting with wanting to fight with Tosin Silverman? People started inviting her to events. She was planning a wedding. I mean, she started mingling with people that had sense. And for her to do this one, oh my God. Who would take blessings seriously? Who would take this girl seriously again in the public space? In all of this, I wish her peace, because if I was a psychologist, the way I will evaluate this girl, because it seems that there's a mental health crisis somewhere. It seems there's a case of identity crisis, attention seeking. There's something, because this is not normal. It's not normal. So this is how someone can clearly self-destruct. You have no other career than the internet. How can you ruin your own career? Some might say she was jealous of Izzy, because Izzy Ogbede, a long-standing contender or whatever, came out with her own story and began to get some support from the public. So people might say, oh, she was jealous. She decided to also come up with something so that she can sieve some of this attention and maybe also get some money from it. I hope IVD was worth it, because there's so many texts that she's trying to raise this money to help her boyfriend, that she has vowed that is going to succeed. She wants to do more than the wife did. She has gone through lengths. There's a video of her taking this man to a village to do some introduction, and then she took this man to the altar, and then the deity of her father's house, and they prayed that he must succeed. What did the late wife of that one not do? Maybe IVD should do a TED talk for men on how to get women to love you stupidly. Because the way Blessing used to give advice, I would never have thought she would go this low for a man. I want to end it by saying I wish her peace. I wish her peace, because whatever she's going through, whatever will take her to this point is clearly not normal. It's clearly not normal. I wish her peace. And she clearly says she still insists she has cancer, but it's not stage 4. I don't know how someone can not have stage 4 and then claim stage 4 of cancer when she has maybe stage 1. I don't know. But whatever it is, I hope God heals her, because she's clearly not well. So guys, if you watch this video to this point and you want to watch another good video, look out for my next video. I'm back. Look out for my next video on dissecting the Funke Akindele, the Iyabojo, and the whole movie premiere saga. I know I'm late to the conversation, but I still want to talk about it. There's some points I want to talk about. So take care, and please remember to subscribe. Love you. Bye.